I can't believe I'm on day 5. Day 5, and I'm really looking forward to today's card because it's got some a technique in it. So today we are doing Sale-A-Bration brochure, and today we are doing this driving by stamp set that again you can earn for free with a $60 order. This is a great stamp set, I think, because it incorporates, you know, birthdays and great thank you cards as well. So this is the one we're going to do today with this little Volkswagen here with the presents on top. And what I love about this is that, well, not since COVID we haven't traveled, but usually during the holidays we head on over to Vancouver to Langley to my sister's family and have a big family Christmas. And then we head south down to Washington State to visit with my good friend Carol. She's not on this morning, I don't see her. Hi, Carolyn. So we head down there for a visit as well. And so when we come home, of course, we're coming home with a carload of gifts that we have, you know, luckily received. And so this reminds me of coming home with our gifts. And so this would be a great thank you card for having visited those people and getting all these gifts. I think it's just so cute, and I'm going to use it. I've already sent my thank you cards out for gifts this year, but this will be great because I'm hoping, oh my gosh, I'm so hoping next year we can continue that tradition and head on over off the island. So won't that be the cutest thank you card? Aw, thanks. I love that. It's going to be great. Anyway, so this is it. There's 3 different vehicles on here. I love this for a thank you. A birthday card with the balloons flowing out the back. So cute. And I had an idea for this little minivan. It's, you know, one of those 70s Volkswagen buses. So what you could do is you could stamp this right on some designer series paper that has, I would pick something with a tiny print on it. And then you could cut it out, and then the minivan would have a design on it. And then you would cut the wheels out separately and put them on, or just black them out with your markers. So that's another cute idea for this little van. Now, there are no dies with this set. So again, like I was saying yesterday, who knows? Maybe in the next Sale-A-Bration, there may be dies for this set. So I was saying how last year they brought out dies to coordinate with some other products. So I don't know. I'm not making, I don't know. I don't have an in, so I can't make any promises. So don't take me at my word. That's for sure. Anyway, this is the card we're going to be making. I love this card. So there's a couple of techniques here. Number 1 is I'm introducing to you a brand new embossing folder. And it is featured in the mini catalog. Let me see. Let me see what page is that on. It is called the, oh my gosh, there's so much in here. Just bear with me. Which one is it? I should have marked it. Something to do with gardens and bees and stuff. Well, let me just look at the dies, because there's a set of dies. What's it called? Honeybee Home. It's called Honeybee Home. It's alphabetical. Hold on. D, C, D, H, F, G, H, G, H. Honeybee. Honeybee Home. There we go. Sorry. Page 61. Oh my goodness. Page 61. Okay, here it is. So this is a suite of products. Here it's called the Heart and Home. So it has 2 different stamp sets, 2 sets of dies, and here's the embossing folder. Okay, it's called the Hive 3D embossing folder. And this is the Honeybee stamp set. I chose to get the Honeybee stamp set with the foliage. I did not get this one yet, and I may still get this one. But I got this one, I got the papers, I got the doilies, I got the ribbon, I got the dots, and I got the embossing folder. But I love the little bees. They're just so adorable. There's 3 little bees on there. Love that. Okay. Okay. But this is the embossing folder here. And I embossed a piece just so I could have it. So you can reverse it. So this almost looks like little pebbles. This would be cute on a card. It's like a little garden patio, maybe with some plants on it. We've got that succulent set in the annual catalog. And then here's your hive pattern on the back. And there's actually some sort of double embossing in there, which makes it really, really cool. So, so I've used that. I've already done it on, this is Coastal Cabana. So I have already embossed this piece. So I don't have to go running over to my machine. And the card base we're using today, I went and looked at the recipes, and the card base is a, well, it was hard to tell. They tell you what cardstock they're using, but they don't tell you which color they use for, you know, which part of the project. But this is Pool Party, and then they said they used Coastal Cabana, so I chose to do this in Coastal Cabana, okay? And then there is also a piece of vellum. This is my 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside of my card. I might do something on the inside of the card, so I'll just set that aside. And then there is a piece of vellum. I just had it here, for heaven's sakes. Bear with me, you guys. Always, here it is. Okay, so I cut this vellum down. So this layer here is 4 by 5 1/4, if you wanted to take some notes. And then this piece is 2.5 by 5 1/4. 2.5 by 5 1/4. Yes, I knew someone would need that embossing folder. It's just fantastic. Okay, so there you go. So we're going to get started with this. So again, today I'm going to be bringing out the Stamparatus because I don't know if you can see, but on this card they have stamped the Volkswagen without the presents on top. So I'm going to show you a trick for doing that on this piece of vellum. So this is the first thing we're going to do because we have to let this dry. Vellum, ink on vellum takes, because it's not porous, so ink on vellum takes a long time to dry. So I think there's about 4 of them on there. Well, I can leave one out, but there's 4 on there, or 3 on there. Okay, so that's the first thing I'm going to do. So let's pull out the Stamparatus. Okay, now these are the red rubber stamps, okay? So there's already foam on there, so you don't need this foam pad, okay? Now, just to let you know, I added, sometimes when you're stamping with the Stamparatus, if you don't get a good image after, you know, duplicating it 3 or 4 times, you may need to add a little shim in here. So Stampin' Up! Now has a shim. Gotta find it. Hang on, where is it? Here it is. Oh no, that's the foam mat. Well, I'll just show you some of that's not what I'm talking about. Sorry ladies, I'm getting all muddled up here. Never mind. Okay. So let's go back a minute. So the Stamparatus comes, this is it on its own, comes with the 2 plates, and then it comes with this foam mat. Okay, now as an additional supply, some people wanted a foam mat with a grid on it. So now they have this foam mat. You see it's foam and it's got a grid on it. So it's easier for you to line up your paper and your images. Okay, so I should really swap this out. So it has this foam mat, which we won't need today. You can also get a pad of 8 by 8, 7 by 7. It's about 7 by 7, I guess. Grid sheets, which is also really, really handy. So if you didn't want to get ink on this, or if you don't want to buy this and keep this, then you can tear out one of these grid sheets and put it in there. Okay, so there's inches on one side and centimeters on the other side. Okay, so those are additional products that you can get for your Stamparatus. But what I also did was, when I'm not using foam, I don't need the foam. Sometimes you just need that little extra shim. It's like in your embossing machine, sometimes you need a bit of a shim just to get it to cut properly. I haven't found that to be the case with the new Stamp Cut and Emboss. It's pretty good. It cuts everything. So I don't worry about that. But my old Big Shot, I often had to put in 1 or 2 shims, and I used to just use cardstock for it. So what I did was I saw online where somebody had taken these are those magnetic sheets. You can buy these in dollar stores. You can get a larger sheet than the smaller sheets. And I just cut a larger sheet, magnetic sheet, as my shim. So I may, I'm just going to keep it in there. I'll be guaranteed of a good solid image, I think, with that. Okay. So if you have any questions about the whole Stamparatus thing, you can drop me a note. Okay, so again, like I showed you yesterday, you want to have a stamp set underneath the door. I call it a door, just to keep it horizontal. Okay, now we're using Coastal Cabana ink for this. So let me grab my piece of vellum, and I may use this sheet just to keep ink off that mat, and so I can line this up. Now when you're using the grid sheets, what's kind of cool is that you don't necessarily need to use the magnets as long as you line it back up exactly, you know, where you had it. I do like to use the magnets. Okay, so here is our stamp. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to stamp this without the presents on the top. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to first position this where I think my first image will be. So let me just get rid of this, and let me get rid of that, and get rid of that. I need some room here. And let me grab, so I'm going to grab some mini Post-it notes. You can get these also at the dollar store. And I want the picture so I can see what I'm doing. So we want one pretty well at the top. Okay, so I will place this down on my vellum like so. And I'm going to put a piece of Post-it note to cover up the present. Now this will get a little bit messy because you're going to get ink all over this Post-it note, but that's okay. Okay, now I'm going to pick it up with the door. Okay. I'm so silly. Sorry, I have to take that back. I put that on the wrong side. It has to go on the stamp side. Silly woman. So I'm going to put it right there. Am I in picture? Let me move over a bit. I don't think I'm in picture here. Okay. So yeah, the Post-it note has to go on the stamp, not on the reverse side where the image is. Okay, so position your stamp, pick it up with the door, and then cover it over with your Post-it note. And then I'm going to grab my ink, and I'm going to ink it up. I'm going to try to limit the ink. Okay, now before I stamp it, make sure you take off that Post-it note, okay? Otherwise this ink will transfer onto your paper. I'm sure that's pretty logical. And then I'm going to stamp it and lift it up. Now, it's very faint, kind of that's what I want, so I'm not going to re-stamp that, okay? The next step, I'm going to just, I don't know if I can do the hinge method on this because, yeah, it's too close. Let's go down another hinged place. Let's see if we can do the hinge method. No, that's not going to work. It's the wrong spacing. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to clean my stamp first. Okay, and then I'm going to reposition it on my card. Now I've done one at the top. I think I'll do one at the bottom so that I get kind of an even pattern. Okay, so now I'm going to pick it up again. And again, I'll put my Post-it note back on there. Oh, good morning. Barbara's joined us this morning, and who else is it? Maggie is here. Good morning. Okay, so let's ink this up again. Take off the Post-it note and stamp it. Give it a good press. Okay, and be careful you don't smudge these, okay, because they're wet. All right, let's clean this off again. And in the photograph, the Volkswagen is going to be here. So I'm only going to do one more above the bottom one, because the other one's going to be covered up anyway, so we don't need it. So let's give it a good clean, and then let's do one more. We'll position it right there. Pick it up again. And cover it up with our Post-it note. And ink it up again. Remove the Post-it note. Whoops. Okay, I pressed way too hard on that. Sorry. That was silly of me. I've got stuff on my edges and I don't want that to transfer over. So we're going to start over just to be sure. Yeah, I felt myself pressing down way too hard. Tap, tap. Take off the Post-it note. That would have been a disaster. Okay. I'm really happy with that. All right, so let's take this off. Now we do have to do some fussy cutting. So I'm going to put that back on my acrylic block and we'll stamp that independently. And we are done with the Stamparatus. So I'm going to take this out. See, it's shiny, so it's wet. So you could use your heat gun, but you have to be careful with vellum. You don't want to overheat it, otherwise it starts to curl. Okay, so let's just set that aside. And we don't need the Coastal Cabana anymore. And this can go in the garbage. And close up my Stamparatus and put it away. Okay, so what we want to do is get a piece of white. I've got a nice little scrap. I don't know if that's going to fit on there. Of course not. That's not big enough. There's another piece of scrap here. So I'm going to bring in my Memento black ink. I've inked it up, re-inked it, I should say. So I'm getting way better coverage now. Oh, good morning, Judy. Nice of you to join me this morning. All right, so today I'm bringing back the watercolor pencils. I don't know about you, but I often get into these coloring trends where I start to use something like watercolor pencils, for example, and then I use them for a couple of weeks. I just have them on my desk and I keep using them. And that seems to be the case lately. All right, so we've got a bright yellow little Volkswagen here. And we've got gray for the fenders. I think I'll do those first. Now, one thing I forgot to point out to you guys when I was showing you these watercolor pencils and using this blender brush or blender pen is that you don't have to be as precise with your coloring. Like, I don't have to go to all the edges, because when I use the blender pen, it's going to blend it out. So you can kind of just do a rough color. So you don't have to take as much time. And you can always add more color afterwards if you need to. But you see, I'm not being picky about going to the edges. That's the trunk there. Okay, so if you want to make some parts just shade it a bit darker, just go a little bit harder with your pencil. So I've got some lines in here that I might just go over a little bit darker. Okay, now with the wheels, this inner part is all gray. And then we've got black for the wheels, of course. So this is where the set of 3 pens comes in handy. Because you're working with multiple colors. Okay, now for the presents, I don't want to be overly picky about presents. Let's bring in a bit of, I'll do a pink one. Of course, if this was a Christmas thank you, I would do red and green maybe. Let's do a bright green present, a striped present, and then what the heck, let's do a little red present. Okay, so those are, now it's on, they've colored in the windows because of the background, so I'm going to pull in, I know we have a Coastal Cabana here, that's Pacific Point, Balmy Blue, Bermuda Bay, Coastal Cabana. Okay, this is not Coastal Cabana. Their ink colors didn't work out very well. Oh no, what am I saying? It's not, it's Pool Party, but I don't think we have a pool party. You know what? I don't think we have a pool party. Well, my paper is Coastal Cabana, isn't it? So let's go to Coastal Cabana. And let's just shade in the windows. Okay. Okay, blender pen. So I only brought 1 pen here. So before I start using it, I make sure that it's clean. Okay, and then I'm going to go over. You see how I don't have to be precise? It will just fill in any of the spaces that I need it to. It just smooths out all the lines. It gives it a beautiful finish. And then you just clean it like that. See? Comes totally clean. Let's do the little fenders. Let's do the middle. Okay. Let's do the little presents. I'm going to switch to the other end, and then we'll do the We'll do the car. See, it's just filling in all of the white space and smoothing out all the lines. And there you go. What do they do with the light? Oh, it's just a little bit of gray. Okay, so there is our cute little Volkswagen. Let's put all my colored pencils away and the blender pen. Now we have to fussy cut. How's everybody doing? Oh, Judy, I love your emoji. So cute. Good morning, Lena. I think everybody's just doing a crafting day today. So I'm just going to get rid of the bulk of my paper here. It's easier to fussy cut when you're working with a smaller piece of paper. So I'm just going to go straight up. And then I'll just go in and in and out. I think this little car also reminds me of an Ikea ad, but I'm trying to remember if that Ikea ad, they had stuff on top of the vehicle. And was it a Volkswagen? Anybody help me out with that? Do you remember that ad? Where she runs out of Ikea to her husband waiting in the car. My head's gone totally blank. I can't even remember what she says. Drive or something. Because the prices are so good, it's like she's stealing everything and she wants to escape. It's a cute ad. You know, now that we PVR everything, I don't get to see ads very often. And some of them have, you know, are really, really good. And then I miss them all. I always go to YouTube and watch any of the Super Bowl video ads afterwards because they're usually fantastic. Okay, let's cut out. I had one more little package to define here. So not too bad to fussy cut. There we go. That is just the cutest little car. I always wanted a little Volkswagen car. The Cabriolet. Do you remember when the Cabriolet came out? I can't remember what year that was. Oh my gosh, that was the cutest little car. And I don't know if they even make Volkswagens anymore, do they? All right, so we have our little card. Now let's do our little, I brought out some pool party to make the greeting. There's a tiny little greeting on here. So I'm going to stamp the greeting in black. See if I can get it on there straight. Oh, I really mucked that up. Let's try that again. I'll bring it closer to me so I can see what I'm doing. and I caught the border, but I'm going to cut that off. I caught the edge. I'm just going to do a narrow little. Sometimes I really like these angled cuts, and that's totally crooked, my greeting, but I don't care. It's cute. I'm so proud of myself. I didn't make a New Year's resolution because this was happening last year, but I'm kind of proud of myself. And I'm not being as persnickety with little details like that. I'm just going with it. All right, let's pull in our card. So we have our card base here, and we're going to glue this on. Now, I do like the debossed. This doesn't look like honeycomb to me as much as the debossed side, so that's what I'm going with. And I'm going to grab some Tombow glue, and it's kind of cool the way the paper ended up curling itself a little bit with that embossing folder. So I'm not going to add my glue to the edges because I think that's kind of a cool look. Okay, so let's stick this on. Now there's no ribbon or string or anything. So let's just stick this on here like this. I'll hold it down for a few seconds. Let's see. Oh, that's it. Start the car. Start the car. Start the car. Yeah, Barbara, you've remembered it. That's a cute ad, isn't it? And it's so true. Ikea stuff is very reasonable. Christine, Fiat seem to be the new bugs. I see them everywhere. I know. I love that little Fiat. But you know, because in the good times, you know, I do travel a little bit further away from Victoria, so I kind of wonder, gosh, if another car hit you in a Fiat, wouldn't you just go flying? You'd be like a little flying saucer, just flying out into space because it's so tiny. I mean, a Volkswagen, I think, has got more to it than a little Fiat, but they are cute. I guess if you just stay around town, don't travel the highway, you might be okay. I think I cut this so thin, I don't think I can fit that on dimensionals. Okay, where's our vellum? Let's give it a little, oh look, it's all dry now, but I still wouldn't rub my fingers on it. Okay, so this vellum is going on like this. Now, you have to be careful with, I'm sure all of you know this, but with vellum, if you put tape runner on it, it shows right through. Now, I find it's a worthwhile investment because Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell it. I have what's called vellum adhesive. It's kind of like a tape runner, but it's special tape and it doesn't show through at all. And so I do have vellum adhesive. I think you can either get it at the dollar store, you can order it online through Google. So that might be worth looking into. But on this one, for example, you could get away with maybe a little glue dot where the wheels are. Let's try that. You need it to be a little bit hidden in part of the image for it to work. So let's give that a go. Where's my pokey tool? Because normally I would just put some glue here where I'm going to cover it over with the Volkswagen, but that's not enough glue on this piece. So let's just take some glue dots here. And I'm going to put them just on the bottom at the top. I'm just going to go in that little wheel well, or on the hubcap. And that should work pretty well, I'm hoping. See if that works. Let's do one more here. You know, also if I had put maybe some ribbon on here, I could have hidden it under the ribbon. But I'm hoping this will work. Okay, so this is going on here like this, over on the right-hand side with a bit of an edge. Okay, and I'm just gonna...
Okay.
Sorry, that's my front door camera. Alexa, stop blink camera. Okay. So the little Volkswagen I'm going to put on with some dimensionals. I'm almost done this whole sheet. Okay, and then we'll do just a little strip up here. We'll stick that on there like that. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. And yeah, I should have, you know what? Ugh. I'm gonna make this bigger. Sorry, ladies, I'm not happy with it. As much as I said, I don't want to be too persnickety. I'm just not happy with that. Do I have any other thin strips in here? This is too wide, but I'll do a little. Actually, now that I look at it, it's not done in black, but that's okay. Oh, I keep catching that edge on here. Little tiny rubber stamps are the worst for catching an edge. Oh my goodness, can't do it. Yeah, it just keeps catching. I might have to trim that stamp.
Motion detected at the blink. Okay.
I think my husband's out there doing something. He's coming to the front door. All right, I'm not fussing anymore. Yeah, we're just going to make this just a tad bit chunkier. There, I'm happier with that. Look how skinny that one was. Because I think it would be cute up on dimensionals. So let me pull out my mini dimensionals here. Okay, ladies. Excuse me. There is our cute little card. Oh my gosh. Isn't that cute? Now, I think they have some little embellishments on here I'm looking at. Yes, very cute. Now, we have, oh my gosh, where's my embellishment box? Just a sec. Again, I'm pulling out these. These are my favorite embellishments, I have to say. So, and they're in the annual catalog, and They just might, you know, retire. So you want to think about these. But these are sequins. They're iridescent sequins, and they have no holes in them. And there are some Coastal Cabana colored ones in here. There's 4 colors, and these are my go-to rhinestones. And look at these. These are the blue ones. They're just spectacular. So I have a few more packs in my stash. So, and they come in, you know, different sizes. So on a sheet, you get 2 sizes, a large and a small. They're just, I love them. Love them, love them. They're my favorite. So let's pull out a big one and some small ones. Any more blue? No, I'm done. I'm starting a new sheet here. There we go. 3 little embellishments. Look at that. What do you think, ladies? Oh, thanks, Barbara. Sweet card. Hearts. Very cute. Thank you, ladies. I know it's adorable. Isn't it adorable? It's just adorable. I just can't say how adorable it is. So thanks once again for joining me. I will be entering all your names into my draw. I'm going to do one more tomorrow morning. It'll be the last one. And tomorrow I'm going to sort of review the catalog and just point out some things so that you don't miss out on them, because that's often true. Like embossing folders sometimes get hidden and that you don't see them. So we'll do a run through of the catalog tomorrow, and then I'll have another project. I might case something right out of the catalog again. Because let's see what's left in here to show you of what I have. I don't have this one, so I couldn't do a project with that one. But if you like a tropical theme, that's a really cute one. And I did the paper, okay, the free 12 by 12 paper. This would make beautiful gift bags. And we did the catching butterflies, and we just did driving by. I am definitely going to do these, and look how cute these buses look with the tropical theme. Because I think they drive a lot of these over in Hawaii and in the Caribbean. Okay, so driving by, I showed you I did this little mini treat box. These are the papers that I used in this set. Really cute papers. So I'll show those to you tomorrow, because if you don't like I'm not a big rainbow fan, but I love the papers because the reverse side doesn't have rainbows on it. So, and there's tons of colors in there. So it's a good general all-round DSP. And we did the Marvelous, the Simply Marvelous 6x6 paper. We did the Awesome Otters. And we did this Friendly Hello. So I pretty well did the whole Sale-A-Bration catalog this week. Okay, and I do have this one, but I haven't done anything with it. But it's got some great greetings in there. That's a great all-round. This is a $120 free one. Okay, and also if you host, so you need to have a personal order of $375 or more. Then you can get this Calming Camellia for free. So if you want to gather some friends together and get them to purchase with you as well, then you can earn this Calming Camellia stamp set as well. That's available. Okay, and then we have a new join offer. Our join offer is you can choose any products you want for your starter kit. So you pay $135. You actually get $165 of products, plus during Sale-A-Bration, which ends the end of February, you get to pick 2 stamp sets for free. Any stamp set of any value. So I always look for the big ones, the big ticket items. That's what I would do. Okay, so there's that information. So any questions at all, you can private message me or email me or phone me or text me. Yeah. Oh, did you own a Volkswagen, Maggie? I remember my mom had one of her best friends, Chris. I remember Chris. She had this beige Volkswagen. Yeah, she drove that for years and years and years, I remember. She drove it right into the ground, I think. You must have had one, unless you had a boyfriend with one. Maggie. Okay, ladies, thanks again, and we hopefully will see you tomorrow morning. And for those of you attending the virtual event this afternoon, I'll see you there. Thanks. Bye for now.